And key moment of this late stretch of the race was when Johnson got away on that last restart, and Greg Biffle and Kyle Busch raced side by side for second through turns 1 and 2. That allowed Johnson to open that gap and put himself in position to score this win. Jeff Gordon finally going to get around Martin Truex Jr. He's worked on him for about, what, 8-9 laps.
He really worked him hard, and Martin Truex was doing a great job of holding him off, but Jeff Gordon's had a fast car. Just unfortunately, it doesn't look like the day's going to be today to get it in victory lane. Oh, almost into the wall with the right rear off of 4.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. continuing to be steady and strong and near the front of the pack every week. Of course, breaking the long dry spell earlier this summer. And in that conversation with Steve Letarte and Jr. that Marty Smith had earlier on NASCAR Countdown, Marty said, tell us why you can win the championship this year. And Letarte's very quick answer back was, tell us why we can't. Can they?
Well, they've already proved right there. Those points results as they run shows you just how solid they've been this year. Their performance has been there every week. They've taken advantage of it once. They've won one race, but they've been right there. They've been in the top 5 consistently.
I think today's a perfect example. He didn't get the qualifying effort in and lap that they wanted yesterday. Started back in 20th, drove this car up inside the top 10, now inside the top 5. That's what championship teams are made of. You can't win every week, and yeah, there's a lot of people that go about it a little bit differently, but Junior's very solid, and the way he's performing, that is how you win championships.
I found the conversation about Junior's level of engagement with the race team and how much it's grown to have been a fascinating one. How he said, I'm learning stuff now 12 or 14 years in.
Well, you have to continue to learn. And, you know, I think one thing that Junior struggled with, as some other drivers have, is this car. Even though they've been running it for quite a few years now, there's still things about it that are totally different than what he grew up and learned to race on and drive. And so I think that he's adapting a lot more to that and what it takes to run fast and be in contention a lot more with these cars.
Junior kind of drove it into 3 hard there, trying to get Greg Biffle. Lost the car length or so. Here comes Jeff Gordon, trying to get 6th place from Ryan Newman.
Yeah, you can see he got up a little bit close to Newman's bumper there. Newman a little bit loose. Gordon able to take the spotlight. Yes, right now.
Going to be a what might have been day for Jeff Gordon, I think, when he climbs out of this car.
Yeah, their problem is they've been solid all year. If they're running out of time, they're going to have to win 2 of the last 6 if they think they're going to get in the chase or have any chance to get in there.
With the kind of car they had today, they had one that was good, but it wasn't great. But on long runs, they were great. And they lost all that track position, then they weren't able to take advantage of that late run speed.
Casey Kane in the 5 thought he'd be a factor in the race today. Picked up some damage on a fender earlier. Put a crimp in the handling of the car. Now he's back racing for 13th place with the defending winner, Paul Menard. And still got his hands full. And Jimmy Johnson coming around to 4 laps to go. 4 will be a key number on this day for Jimmy. Trying to secure his 4th win here at Indianapolis. There's the gap. Jimmy back to Kyle Busch.
We watched him yesterday in qualifying take what was an extremely loose race car. Didn't get it into the wall. Got a lot out of it where a lot of drivers would have just tried to, you know, maybe nurse it around. Jimmy still drove it hard, and he's accustomed to that. He does a lot better, as he admittedly says, driving a looser car, and he's done a well of a job here today.
Been a little bit of a love-hate thing the last few years with this racetrack for Jimmy. Of course, he's got the 3 wins, but the last couple of years he's finished 22nd and 19th in this race.
Yeah, right there, that kind of explains it. He's either going to win or not have a very good day here.
So much talk about Jimmy and Chad Knaus and the dynamic duo and all they've accomplished together. 5 consecutive championships and wins in the big races. And because of people's rooting interests in the present, You get people that don't like you, you get people that like you. You're both fully well aware of that. But in hindsight, this group together and individually are going to be looked back on as being some of the very best ever.
And they're not finished. See right here, they're going to look like they're on their way to winning this one. They look pretty good for the championship too to me.
Yeah, and you say they're going to be looked back on. I think that they need a little more praise, a little more attention while they're doing all of this. I don't think Jimmy Johnson gets enough credit at the talented driver that he is. I think that so many people think he's with Hendrick. He has one of the, if not the best in Chad Knaus, that he should get it done, but you still have to go get it done, and he does it all the time, especially in the big races.
Casey Kane making some late hay. Looking to pick up another spot. This is 12th place he's in a race with for Kevin Harvick. So many stories. Hendrick Motorsports looking for an 8th win in just 19 years of this event.
Looking at 10 straight for Chevrolet here at this track.
That was the next one. And Jimmy Johnson, who grew up in Southern California, said Rick Mears was one of his idols. One of the people he looked up to most.
Coming to the white flag, almost 6 seconds on the 18th.
The story there from the spotter down to Jimmy. As indeed he comes down the front straightaway and sees the white flag. Final lap is underway for the leader in Indianapolis.
Such a tremendous feeling to know that you and your team have put it all together. You show up for the big races, you know you have one chance a year to get it all done, Andy, and this team is there.
They've executed well all day long. It's paying off here on this last lap. One thing I love about Jimmy Johnson, though, is it never gets old. It'll be just like he won his first Brickyard race.
Johnson said you come through the tunnel and history starts talking to you, and he's so happy to have had 3 special moments for himself at this track. Said, I hope to have a 4th. His hero, Rick Mears, won the Indianapolis 500 4 times. They've got something to talk about. As Johnson clears the final corner and the checkered flag is in the air. A 4th win in the Brickyard 400 to Jimmy Johnson. A 4.7-second margin of victory over Kyle Busch. You see the cars as they come across the finish line at the top of your screen, including a tight squeeze.
I'll let you call that one.
Between Almirola and Smith for 18th.
Boys, ready to kiss the bricks. Nice job, boys.
Vince, they led 99 of 160 laps today, and they are going to kiss the bricks together for a 4th time.
Chad Knaus, you told me this morning that historic milestones aren't on your radar right now, but today you guys flexed some muscle in a pretty big race. What's your perspective of that whooping you issued?
You know, it was just a fantastic weekend all the way around. We had a well-deserved weekend off last weekend. Everybody got a little bit of time off, and I think the whole team came in pretty energized this weekend and ready to go. A lot of effort came in working on this race car. Same race car we had in Dover, Delaware that we won with, so it's 2-0 right now, so it's a pretty special little car for us. And everybody worked really hard. I couldn't be happier with what we've got. Everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, the engine department, everybody at the chassis shop, and obviously everybody in the 4888 shop just did a spectacular job. And, you know, Jimmy, he's awesome.
Jimmy said that he's learned to run this race better and learned to drive this track better, and it's helped you set the car up better. How much of that did we see this weekend?
I think we saw it from the first time we got on the track this weekend. You know, especially with the condensed schedule that you got here, if you don't come off the truck pretty close and the driver really able to tell you what's going on, you can get lost quickly and never get it back. And we came in calm and ready to go and energized, and Jimmy was giving great feedback from the time he got on the track. So it was all up to him. He did an awesome job today.
Great team effort for the 48 today. Winners at the Brickyard.
talked about when we came on the air how much effort and energy teams invest in bringing their best to Indianapolis and how much this racetrack demands excellence in every way. What a great race car today. Strategy, pit stops, all executed perfectly.
Yeah, everything was perfect. Car was just outstanding. Crew did their job. Driver obviously did his job.
Yeah, it makes your job so much better when your pit crew and can do their job throughout the entire race. You don't have to make up any positions. Jimmy never was seriously back in traffic to where he really had to negotiate all that, but he did just a fantastic job of driving this race car.
The big drivers perform on the biggest stage. Jimmy Johnson, a Daytona 500 winner, a couple times Southern 500 winner, a 3-time Coca-Cola 600 winner, and now ties Jeff Gordon for most wins all time at Indianapolis in NASCAR competition with his 4th victory in the Brickyard 400. Matt Kenseth with his difficulties during the day, so Dale Earnhardt Jr. becomes the leader in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship after a 4th place finish today, Mike.
One heck of a run for the 88 team. How would you assess the afternoon?
Well, we just, had some good fortune starting on the inside on those last few restarts. We had about a 4th to 8th place car, and, it just seemed to get some good fortune on how the restarts lined up for us at the end. And the car was fast. I was trying to pass Biffle, but just sitting there behind him, good, arrow tight, couldn't get no closer than I was.
And with it, you are now the point leader. What's that like as this regular season now winds down?
Yeah, you run in the top 5 and the top 10 enough, you'll get enough points. But we'd like to win some more races. And I know our fans would like us to win some more races too. So we're working real hard, real happy with our result today. Happy for Hendrick Motorsports and for 488 Shop, and everybody's got to be happy with what happened today. We had all the cars run pretty good. So we'd like to win more races though. So we're just going to work hard for that.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., the point leader for the first time since 2004, Alan.
And a quick look at the championship standings. With now 6 races to go until the field that will compete for the title is determined on what should be a very fun Saturday night in Richmond in early September.
Clint Boyer lost a spot, back to 10th. Brad Keselowski moves up 1.
And Martin Truex with a solid day moves up a spot to try to keep himself inside that top 10.
And all of those drivers, Boyer with a full race lead over 11th place. Remember, top 10 on points make the championship. And the wild card picture based on those in 11th through 20th in points and most number of wins. So Casey Kane will still have the wild card lead. Kyle Busch will have that number 2 spot. Carl Edwards with his difficulties today. 5th place finish for Jeff Gordon today, Dave.
Yeah, he sure could have used one of those wins, Alan. Jeff, where did you fall behind today in the 24 car?
Track position. We had a car that could compete for the win. I think we were probably one of the only ones that really could compete with the 48. Congratulations to Jimmy and Chad and that whole Lowe's team and Rick Hendrick. I mean, they're that good, and they deserve to be in victory lane today. They were the best team, and they had a fast race car. But we had as good as a race car, if not better. We just could never get the track position, and when we did, it was so hard to pass. But our drive-in hunger, Chase Credit Card Services Chevrolet was awesome. We lost some track position, and then the restarts, I started on the outside both times, and that definitely didn't do us any favors. So it's hard to pass, and it was a solid day for us. Can't complain about it too much. Just would like to have been up there to battle with Jimmy, at least make it a little harder on him. My gosh, he had it pretty easy there at the end.
Weren't too many that could keep up with him today, but a solid day for the 4-time winner, Jeff Gordon. Alan?
Well, he had enough fuel to get to the checkered flag. He had enough fuel to do the burnout. He didn't have enough fuel to get to victory lane.
Almost. It made it right to the entrance.
But continuing the day-long assistance of the 48 team, they'll get him there.